Hi, my name is John. Welcome to the Olive Drab Alliance. And if you're clicking on this video, chances are it's because either you're just a fan of yours truly, thank you very much, or because you're interested in learning about this SOPAKCO M.R.E. You're looking for MREs, you want to buy some MREs, and you see this name, SOPAKCO, and you don't know what the heck it is, you don't know what they're all about. Well, you're in the right place, my friend. We're going to dive into the company, we're going to dive into this box, we're going to see what's what. We're even going to play a little game, so you don't want to miss that. Stay tuned. The main manufacturers of MREs, meals ready to eat, for the U.S. military are M.R.E.s, SOPAKCO, and Warnick. M.R.E.s is the largest supplier, according to their website. These companies produce MREs for the military and also sell them to the civilian market, often rebranded as survival or camping food. So here we've got our case of SOPAKCO MREs. There's 16 MREs in this. Now to me, like a case means 24, like 24 cans of barley soda. But normally, with a case of MREs, I would think it would be 12, but this one has 16 in it. And I got such a good deal on eBay because you see right there on the bottom what it says? Reduced sodium. These are the less desirable of the MREs because, well, there's less salt. Some people equate that with less flavor. But for a guy like me who's already got the high blood pressures, this is what I'm looking for. And when I look for a deal. Now on the bottom of this box, you will see some numbers that are kind of stamped in ink across the top. Blah, blah, blah. Numbers, there's one number you recognize, it's 2022. That's the date that this box was packed. And underneath it, you'll see another date, 2027. That's the date that this box is to be inspected by. Now, if this box is stored in high heat or a warm area, a warm warehouse, that inspection might not go so well. So make sure you're storing your MREs in a cool place. Time and temperature are the enemy of long-term food storage, even with MREs. There's a big misconception out there that MREs last forever, and they're this big supernatural thing made by the government that never goes bad. That's not true. MREs do go bad. So when you're buying MREs, if you can get a look at the dates on the bottom, it'll give you some idea of how old they are, and hopefully they were stored in a cool place where they weren't ravaged by the hot temperatures and ruined. I purchased this case of MREs off of eBay. That's right, eBay. I got a pretty good deal, $33.99 for a case of MREs isn't bad, especially when you consider there's 16 MREs in this case. I bought from this seller, Fit Just Right Incorporated, located in Tennessee. However, there's the free shipping. Look at that. Total came out to $34.33. I was hoping to share this good deal with you and share my good fortune. However, Fit Just Right 2007 no longer has any MREs for sale. Now, I'm not seeing it on this box anywhere. So it was probably on the pallet of boxes that this box was stored in, but a lot of times there's a little temperature indicator that will tell you if the temperature ever exceeded, too hot of a temperature for too long of a time. Sometimes it's a little circle looking thing that if the circle fills in, you know it's bad. But this individual box doesn't have that, so I can only assume that it was maybe on the pallet, all shrink wrapped, and one of those temperature indicators was on that pallet. Now looky here, there's a sticker here that says Fragile. That doesn't mean that this came from France. SOPAKCO or SOPAKCO or however you want to say it is in Mullins, South Carolina. I don't know if this is where this product was made, or just maybe where it was packaged, or just maybe where the company's headquartered out of. But I can find out. Now, SOPAKCO, or the SurePak Company, is one of the leading manufacturers of MREs for the U.S. military. However, the U.S. military does not like the company releasing military MREs to the general public. So they offer a civilian version that differs slightly. Here's what they look like in the early 2000s. This is what they sold up till 2009. And after that, they decided that a more military-style government packaging would sell better, so this is what that packaging looked like. That way, when you bought their product, you felt like you were getting the real military deal. Sugar Wolf, what are you doing here? I brought you a knife. Oh, cool. Oh my goodness, is that a Swiss Army knife, Tinkerer? It sure is, the same knife MacGyver used. Well, if it's good enough for MacGyver, it's good enough for me. Come on, man, open this thing up. I'm hungry. Well, what's your favorite MRE there, Sugar Wolf? Mine is the Chili Mac. I like the omelet. That's my favorite. The omelet. Some people would say the omelet is gross, but I always like the omelet because there's more food in it. If you're hungry out there in the field, you don't care what you're eating. You just want more of it. So back in my basic training days, I used to trade the omelet MRE just so I could get, I'd trade for it. I would trade away something more desirable just so I could get the omelet and have more to eat. Sounds about right, fatso. Hey, Sugar Wolf, you don't have to be mean. So I noticed on the side of the box here that says, be fully prepared with SOPAKCO ready-to-eat meals. Fully U.S. inspected. SOPAKCO Incorporated, proudly serving the U.S. Department of Defense for over 50 years. So what does that tell me? That tells me that these MREs might not necessarily be the ones that they made for the military. These might be civilian versions that they specifically market to preppers, survivalists, tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorists who think that, any day stuff's going to hit the fan. People like you and me. We're going to be using our Swiss Army knife, the Tinkerer model. This is a great little pocket knife, a great everyday carry. I haven't really gotten into knives too much here on the channel yet. But in an upcoming video, I just got something in. I'm still testing it. I got to put it through some hardcore paces to see if it's really worth a crap. But this Swiss Army Tinkerer, it's also got the tweezers and the toothpick. But this is a great little everyday carry. I can't recommend, Swiss Army doesn't need my recommendation. These are tried and tested around the world. You know the deal by now. These are great little knives, and I highly recommend them. So let's tear into this box, huh? Look at that, like butter. Like absolute butter. Not even cutting through the tape, just cutting through the cardboard. Ooh. So even though this was taped closed, the box is still glued shut. Look at that. They put glue, they put tape, they really went overboard. Oh my goodness. I guess when you're getting that government money, you can afford to go a little crazy. Yowzers. So, man, the first thing I noticed, look inside there. First thing I noticed is that these MREs, these come packaged like this. They didn't come in that familiar old thick brown to light brown, dark brown for you old timers, packaged like this. They just come in a little clear wrapper like that. No cardboard boxes. If you're looking to rat butt or lighten the load a little bit, there's not much to get rid of here. So yeah, they just come like that. 16 of them packed in this box pretty tightly. So already we're starting to see a difference, aren't we? This one here that I opened up last week to put in my medium Alice pack, don't forget to check that video out, has a Department of Defense label up here. Also, down here it says U.S. government property, commercial resale is unlawful. Now I know that this one was manufactured for the Department of Defense, and I specifically know that this one was manufactured for the United States Marine Corps. You want to know how I know? Because I forgot to take something out of here last week when I put the MRE in my medium Alice pack. Look at that. So yeah, we're starting to see why, first of all, that there were 16 in this case instead of 12, and that the price was a little bit lower. They reduced the amount of packaging, like you don't have this, for example, they just come like that. You can still tell what the entree is, but man, it's, for example, this one is penne with sausage crumbles in spicy tomato something sauce, maybe. So you can still see what the entree is. Now, these aren't all the same. These are hopefully all different menus. I don't want 16 penne with spicy tomato sausage crumbles. I mean, that does sound good, but you know, variety is the spice of life. So let's see how much variety we got in this case. So here we are with all 16 MREs, meals ready to eat. Now, it's hard to tell what's what, but like, it's not stamped on this outer plastic. You have to look through this plastic, and on the main entree, there's like a pinkish red ink. It's hard to see, but this one, beef ravioli and meat sauce. That's a good one. I'm going to set that right over there. But now, for example, look at this package. You got the vegetable crackers right there in the front, and the heater right there in the back. We can't tell what the main entree to this one is. It's a bit of a mystery. That's the only one that came packed like this, but you might run into that if you get a case of these yourself. We got cheese tortellini. We got another mystery pack. Apparently the entree only has what it is stamped on one side, so if it's flipped over, there's nothing stamped on there. Spaghetti with meat sauce. Oh, what the hell? Chili and macaroni. Yes, indeedly. I would say about 50% of these we can actually tell what the main entree is just by looking through the packaging. Now obviously you can open them up, sort them out any way you want. So now you can see here on the side, it just comes with a generic, everyday, run-of-the-mill white plastic spoon. Not that longer, more sturdier brown plastic spoon that might be used to, but this smaller, flimsier white spoon. Read into that what you will. I'm not going to. From the Yellow Drab Alliance Studios, it's everyone's favorite game show, Wheel of MREs. Welcome to America's favorite game show, where our contestants can win his or her weight in MREs. Today on Wheel of MREs. That's right, America. It's a modern day take on a true American classic. We're going to play Spin the Bottle to see which MRE we end up with. Today on Wheel of MREs. I know. Before we get started with round one, let's meet our first contestant. Well, my name's John, and I'm from Northwestern Illinois. Tell us all a little about yourself, John. For example, do you contribute to society? I've got a small YouTube channel called the Olive Drab Alliance, and I'm super excited to be here today on Wheel of MREs.
So no, you don't contribute to society. That's okay.
Come on, Chili Mac. All right, let's see what we got here. Achoo! Hey, look at that. Chili and macaroni, just what I was hoping for. Yes! Well, I hope this has answered some of your questions about what's going to happen when you buy a case of SOPAKCO M.R.E.s. What they're going to look like, what varieties they're going to have. Now, I've had these before. They taste like every other MRE. They need to have a little bit of Tabasco sauce or pepper or something to kick them up a few notches, jazz them up a bit. But otherwise, they're all real decent. You really can't go wrong. Like I said, when you get your case, if you order it online or you buy it in a store, check those stamped on dates in the back to get an idea of how old it is. You're still playing a little bit of Russian roulette because you don't know how they were stored. If they were stored in high temperatures, like out here in the barn, it's super hot. We're going to get these back into the basement as soon as we can to keep them in a cool, dark, dry place. But it's worth the gamble, and for the price I paid and free shipping on eBay from that particular seller, they don't all have free shipping. I'm super happy with my purchase, and I hope you will be too if you decide to get some SOPAKCO M.R.E.s. Otherwise, I hope you've had a good time. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you all down the trail somewhere. Until then, have a great day.